Hello everyone, Joel here. This time I want to share my best Nintendo Switch JRPG games of all time that I think should be played in 2022. You may or may not agree with my list, but who cares? At the end of the day, we just want to play some good games. Alright then, let's get started. There is something here for everyone in Rune Factory 4 Special, but its greatest strength is how it ties together everything into one totally enjoyable package. Varied gameplay, strong writing, and the freedom of progressing at your own pace make this one of the best JRPG games available on the Switch to date. This is a high recommendation to anyone looking for a fresh yet engaging game for their Switch. Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Complete Edition is a content-packed RPG with plenty to see and do. Aside from the campaign, there's multiplayer battling to be done as well. Its evolution system feels wholly unique when compared to another monster taming game series you might find on Nintendo hardware, and while the grind may be too much for some, it's comfortably one of the best monster taming RPG games on the Switch. Persona 5 Strikers is a direct sequel to the events that transpire in Persona 5. Fans of the Persona series will likely feel much more at home here than they may have initially expected. The game combines a strong story with satisfying hack-and-slash action. All in all, this is a totally entertaining action RPG that comes highly recommended. While Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition doesn't make a major changes to the original game, it does combine practically every piece of exclusive content into one wholesome package. Those HD graphics have been given a lovely polish, there are new music additions to the score and all the content that was previously locked. If you're looking for a good JRPG experience, this game definitely delivers. This 9 Monstrum Nox hits all the right aspects it needs to make for an addictive and engaging action RPG. Fast-paced combat, a memorable setting, and a surprisingly content-rich open world make for an experience that action RPG fans would love. The world itself is packed full of side quests and collectibles to help strengthen you on your journey, and there are a variety of dungeons that you slowly unlock as the story progresses. It may not be the best setting for an NES game yet, but it consistently manages to make itself memorable. Octopath Traveler is a special RPG game, the kind of game that keeps an eye on the past while walking bravely into the future. This is one of the best RPG you can find on the Switch to date. All elements of this game link together perfectly to make for a harmonious and immersing experience that you will find difficult to put down. Classic-inspired gameplay, an orchestrated soundtrack, and a unique approach to storytelling make this a game that you don't want to miss.
The show is...
While Neo The World Ends With You takes place after the events of the first game, the original isn't necessarily required to be played in order to enjoy the story. Some of the many conversations in-game will go down smoother if you have some prior understanding of the returning faces and their backstories, but the game does a great job of briefing the player naturally with any necessary intel. The game offers an energetic soundtrack that fits off the energy of the original, a deep and rewarding combat system that makes a successful leap to 3D, and inspiring cast of characters that stand tall on their own. Overall, Neo The World Ends With You is an excellent evolution of the original. Trails of Cold Steel 4 is the climax that fans of the series deserve, comprehensively delivering on its promise as the end of a saga while setting up future plotlines that are sure to affect lore in all kinds of fascinating ways. Newcomers absolutely should not play this game first, given that it's a concluding chapter to an ongoing saga years in the making. Longtime fans, on the other hand, don't need any convincing, as they're going to get this game if they have already invested the hundreds of hours of legwork that set it up. Pokemon Legends Arceus feels like the result of Game Freak learning lessons for 25 years, refining the formula and finally taking the franchise in a new, incredible, exciting direction. Well, Pokemon Legends Arceus is in fact the Breath of the Wild of Pokemon games. With its emphasis on extremely rewarding exploration, addictive catching mechanics, a fine roster of Pokemon, and a genuine sense of scale that's unlike anything in the series, Pokemon Legends Arceus is quite simply one of the greatest Pokemon games ever made.
I'll handle these!
As the last of the Final Fantasy series to release on the PlayStation 2, Final Fantasy XII was a departure from the classic formula of the franchise, trading in the classic ATB style of turn-based combat for a slightly more active approach. This version of the Zodiac Age offers some new additions, those being a license reset function, additional gambit sets, and a new Game Plus feature. If you haven't yet had the chance to play Final Fantasy XII, I would argue that this is the best versions of the game. Shin Megami Tensei 5 is a modern masterpiece. It successfully delivers on all the aspects that have made the series thus far so popular with fans. Things like a more easily navigable map and more difficulty options to cater to players of all skills level comfortably make this the most approachable entry in the series, and it feels like there's more things to do in the world than ever before. If you are at all fan of RPGs or have been looking for a good entry point into this often overlooked series, I would strongly encourage you to pick this one up. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is a standout RPG that manages to keep its story, combat, and exploration satisfying. Traversing the world can be confusing at times, but outside of that and a multi-hour progression roadblock near the end, this is an excellent game full of tough and memorable battles. It's a new cast and world with some fresh mechanics and ideas, but much is still familiar. The story has high points, the world and its varied title lands is intriguing, and it draws you in for many dozens of hours.
Anchor shot! Ha!
Dragon Quest XI-S is a game for both longtime fans and newcomers alike. Even those who have played the previous versions of Dragon Quest XI may find the fast improvements of the Switch version compelling enough for another round, especially with the new quest, character content, and marriage options. This game is a masterpiece, and it sets a new high standard for not only the series but console RPGs in general. Fire Emblem Three Houses has managed to live up to the hype and will stand as a highlight in the series for years to come. The expanded gameplay styles, retooled combat, lovable characters, and in-depth character customization hook you so fast and are almost guaranteed to keep you engaged for so many hours. This sets a new standard for what a strategy JRPG can be and more certainly proves itself to be the next must-have release for the Nintendo Switch. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is the best way to experience a true classic. Many elements have been changed for the better, allowing for a smooth journey through and through. There's also an extra content that was cut from the original game, which already had a lot of content in it. Even if this is your first JRPG, they've made it so much easier for newcomers to be introduced into the amazing world that is the Xenoblade Chronicles series. Alright boys, I think that's it for today. I know that there are still a lot of Switch JRPG games that I haven't mentioned yet. So how about sharing your best Switch JRPG games that probably deserve the spot in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss another great list. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Peace.